Fuel tank back from GCS Machinery. Well, a bit of huff and puffing. We've got the tank in. They make it almost impossible to get the plug out of there. You can see there, it's just where they're all cracked out. Fuel tank back from GCS Machinery. So you'll have seen that we've just given that, we give that sand down a spray, just to make it a bit tidier. It's not as good a job by any stretch as Micheal was making on GCS Machinery in a couple of episodes ago, where they sandblasted and she made a cracking job of respraying the tanks. Not done quite as much prep as that. We just gave it a light sanding disc down. So the big problem now, we've got to get the tank from here into the back of the building. Now, of course, the doorway's too low for the forklift to go under. Oh. So we're going to try and do this Egyptian style. Oh, well, it moved a bit. Yeah, there you go. So we're going to try and do it like Egyptian or Roman style or something. I guess they don't have forklifts, but we've got maybe a little bit of an advantage. I'm hoping, because this is all sloping toward me here, that once I get it into the actual shed, it's flatter and not sloping away, I might be able to push it over on my own. Right, mechanical advantage is now over. Will it push? Ooh. Ooh, it's moving. Well, a bit of huff and puffing. We've got the tank in. So that's ace. Just wants to be a little bit, an inch closer to the wall. So I'm just going to, I can't get a lever in there. So what we're going to do now is push it. A massive piece of 6x3. We'll just give it a little nudge with a forklift. Oh, yeah, she's gone. Yeah, so there we go. Tank in. Oh, nice and tight against the wall. Dead chuff with that. And that'll leave enough space around here just to be able to flip the lid up. Ready for refueling. So just got to get the lads now. Heating engineer came today. We're just going to go from one of those connections through there, little outlet, round the wall to the doorway, and then we'll stick the pump and the gun and meter and hose. That'll all be in that corner. So all we've got to do, zip the door, shut the door up, and we're in business. So that's getting much closer. So got a little bit of a treat for the tank now because it looks a bit boring. It's all very grey in here, isn't it? So got a little thing we've got to do on this. A little bit of a thank you. It wants a bit of touching up as well. I've just noticed there are a few areas I want to touch up. And after Micheal made such a great job at GCS of painting out the tank, like I said earlier, I can't leave it like that. So a little bit of paint, a little bit of a touch up, have it looking right. Job's a good one. Well, it's starting to come together now. So when we put this tank up from GCS Machinery, just before I left, Michael came rushing over and gave me some stickers. It's very kind of him. So, obviously, we want to be compliant with all the legislation. So he gave us some big stickers, which has got GCS fuel systems on it. So I think that's going to look really smart there. So I'm really pleased with that. I don't know whether this is going to be good or not. I bet they've got a way of doing this really neatly. And I'm going to make a right mess of it now, aren't I? So middle was about, that looks pretty good. What do you think? Yeah, that's straight on there. Straight there. Oh, there's a bit of an air bubble. Oh, there we go, that's not bad. How about that? Snazzy. Bit of reflect on there. Doesn't that look smart? Really pleased. Happy days. So that's really good. So that's fuel tank in, stick it up. That's good. Hopefully the heating engineer will turn up in the next week or so. We can get all the fuel pipe put round, get all that on there, and then we'll be ready for getting it filled up. And this is going to be a much better system. It's Saturday morning, so we've got a little project on today. That fuel tank from GCS Machinery. We've resprayed that, got that in situ now. And what I want to do is make like a housing unit for where the nozzle, the fuel filler nozzle and meters and pump and all that goes. All the places where it's possibly going to get a drip, rather than going all over that new shed floor and mess to clear up. I thought if we can have like a housing unit that all that sits in. So I've got this old tank. So this was quite a bit bigger than what it is now. And I've cut it down, cut the back out of it. So you see here, and then slid that back part in. It was like really, really, really deep. It was like about 4 foot deep. So I've cut that down, slid the back half inside the front half. It's kind of tapered at the top, so it's fitting real nice. So what I want to do is fully weld all that up. We're going to seam it all around so that it's completely fuel proof. Put like a grid in the bottom of it. We'll put some little legs on so it sits further off the floor than it does now, so that we can get a bucket under there and have a drain plug underneath. And then all the nozzle and stuff you'll see as we do it. But we can have like a pump, a meter and gun, and a little gun holder, sort of all sit in there. And that way, after you've fueled up, if there's a bit of a drip or anything like that, or if you ever got to change the pump out or the meter out, or there's any problems or the fuel filter, when you're changing any of that, it doesn't drip all over the floor, it just catches it all and can be drained out later. So I think that's going to be dead smart. We'll obviously get it all welded up, get it all sorted, give it a rub down, spray it all up, make it all look smart. And yeah, looking forward to having a really nice, tidy system that is trouble-free. So I'm going to start grinding around and welding it all up, and then you can take a look at how we get on with it. So back on the green waste job again, the sun's shining, so it's a nice day for doing the compost. So I'll just show you now. It's going to empty the machine out, load some compost up and all the rest of it. Telehandler back kind of in action. The dealership, which I rang 8 o'clock, 8:30 yesterday morning, still hasn't rung me back, never rang me back all day about sending the mechanic out to it. So probably just about burnt the bridges with, or they've just about burnt the bridges with me now from that dealership. One in question, the service has been going down and down and down, so I don't think we'll be choosing them going forward for machinery purchases, which is quite sad. I know the dealers are having a struggle at the moment, but aren't we all? And you know, poor service, no service, going to go elsewhere, going to shop around, it's going to get more competitive. So yeah, found a top bloke, Chris Beard, does JCB Telehandler parts, fantastic. Cheaper than manufacturer, really great quality, knowledgeable service, next day parts. So we managed to find out what the problem was. It was the stick in the end, the shuttle stick, and that'll be in the post tomorrow and we'll put it on ourselves. So thanks very much dealership. You'll probably you know, saves us a load of money anyway. Sorry about that. That was Chris Beard again, the JCB parts bloke. What a helpful chap he is. Like, I was just struggling a bit with the online system, just run me back, sorted me out. Perfect, parts are in the post, just like top service. JCB Parts, Chris Beard. I am not sponsored by him, I've never dealt with him before, but been absolutely blown away with the level of service that he's provided just on our first order. So yeah, lovely. There are some really good people still left in business. I'm just going to shut the doors on the green waste machine, and then we can load it back up again. Right, so this is a pile of stuff, as you've probably seen. It's, as I say, it's all turning quite dark now anyway, it's been rotting down a bit, but you just see the fragments of wood in there. You know, this machine, shredder machine, doesn't eliminate it all, but it does just break up into a much more consistent product that rots down better, breaks down better. Unlike a chipper, which is leaving less surface area, when you're shredding it with these sort of shredders, it does break it down faster than it will do when it's chipped, because the surface area of fibrous tearing of the wood is so much greater in a shredder than a chipper. Telehandler's had an intermittent starting problem, so every now and again you go to start it and it just won't fire. Wriggle the control lever, the forward reverse shuttle, keep riddling it, and eventually it'll start. So we thought it was that gone. It might be something else, we weren't quite sure, but we've had a bit of a play around and we think we've isolated the problem. We've taken off the solenoid down here, so come round to the engine bay and we can see down there, off that solenoid, down here, we just pulled the little wire off it, that little switch, the little switch wire, joined on a little piece of bit of cabling, joined on a little bit of cable, just spade connected, slid that onto that solenoid, and just touching that on the positive, sending it underneath the machine, and going over to the battery, just touching that on the positive of the battery, whilst the ignition's on, is firing the machine up, no hassle. So we're pretty sure that's what it is. I've ordered a new one of those. That's the new stick. Looks like the old one. Happy days. Just got to take off the steering wheel. So we'll just take this off. Just going to take this off, the boss off here, get the wheel off, undo this housing round here. That'll get us to the clamp. So we can take the old one off. Yeah, it's kind of one of those jobs really. Once you found the problem, it's probably pretty easy to solve, I'm sure, but half the time's finding the problem. Yeah, just underwhelmed. Everyone's moaning that life's difficult and stuff, trying to flog machinery at the moment in the current climate, agricultural economic climate, and then you ring up your dealer for service and you don't get any. So, hey ho, world we live in perhaps. So I'm going to start stripping this down now on the column, put a new one on, and we'll see whether I'm right or not. Okay, so taking the steering wheel off, so the bezel out the middle, not off, that's dead easy. Undone these pieces that go around the dashboard, that's all simple. The one underneath, this piece here, is really easy, just 4 screws in here, and then there's a couple of screws in the back of there, drops the bottom piece off. Top one, this piece, that's a real pain to get to here. It's a 3mm on this one anyway, it's a 3mm Allen key. If you get a ball-headed one, you know, sort of like a little round ball-headed Allen key, makes it really easy to get in there, otherwise it's a complete pain. And the screws are like, I've just dropped one, the screws are like a lot longer than you would anticipate. Hold that little bit of plastic on. So they're all off out of the way. So all I've got to do now is this shuttle stick, unbolt that, Allen key here, and one below, take that off. I think there's a bolt that probably goes through here. Quick easy wire connector, just snip back in there. So I'll put that back on now and we'll see whether it works. Okay, so they make it almost impossible to get the plug out of there without stripping this plastic off. I can't get a screwdriver in there to flip the little tangs to pull that socket out. Which means this bit of plastic's going to have to come off. Which means you have to undo those Allen keys. Possibly have to take that off to be able to get it, just to be able to pull that plug out. Like, I wish the people on SolidWorks that made these machines, that designed these machines, worked on these machines. Like, they could have come up with a way of just doing that so you could just pull that plug out now. But no, we have to strip more stuff off. Gosh, it's so frustrating, isn't it? So, it's all back together. That was relatively trouble-free. So the biggest issues are those little Allen key ones in the back of there to get out. The plastic little socket connectors in a funny little place, and that's quite tricky as well to get the little tabs to open up down in there. But yeah, that's gone back together. So new shuttle lever's on. Just give her a quick whirl, see where she starts. That turns out to be a simple fix, don't get me wrong. You know, we got lucky there, tracing that and finding that fault, and it being that. Looked on a few forums. Oh, people have had bigger problems with it, but as it's turned out, that's really good. So, yeah, with the dealer not ringing me back, still about coming to fix the problem. I think that switch was about, I don't know, around about 70 quid, something like that, so not expensive. I thought if the dealer could, if someone had come out to it to change that, it'd be genuine part, which I'm sure was a heck of a lot more than that, plus all their travel and time and all the rest of it. In this case, I think it's won well. So what I've done is I've used the money I've saved to get some new mudguards. JCB mudguards. That's not been whacked, it is just where they crack. All round here. See, every single one of them, just that one's gone really bad. This piece broken off now. Front one's just the same, all cracking. So, got a new set. I think they're about 60, I don't know, 60, 65, 70 quid a mudguard. And we'll get these new mudguards on, and should be a bit tidier. The thing she wants really now is a new seat, because that's looking a bit tired where everyone slithers out of it. So, might do some investigations for how best, most cost-effective way of getting the seat reupholstered or something. I don't know, but we'll look at that another day. I'll sort these mudguards out now. So you've just seen there that I've put this new mudguard on the back of the telehandler. A dead simple job. Just 4 bolts on the top and bottom top brackets. You'll notice there, just in that quick time lapse, that I gave them a quick wire brushing off on the threads to get them a bit of mud off from underneath there, and then gave them a quick squirt of WD-40 just to lubricate and get into the thread. They're quite dry. Rattled them off with the Milwaukee there. And then when I was putting it back together, hopefully you noticed, just putting a bit of copper slip, a bit of anti-seize back on the threads, help lube them as I tighten them back up, and hopefully it makes that a bit easier to get them off again next time, should we break one. I should show you these old ones quickly. They've gone really brittle. You can see there, it's just where they're all cracked out around the screw holes. This stuff just goes dead brittle. The machine's 14 plate, so she's 11 years old now. So I guess that's just UV and the type of material that's been used on them from the factory. But yeah, really pleased with that. This stops them falling over and catching the machine. Done this other side on the left, rear as well. You can see where that would, where the plastic had cracked, the guard had come loose, and it's just starting to spin round and touch the machine there. So it's nice to get those done. I'm going to do the fronts another day because I want to get on and just finish that greenway shredding. So we'll get those done as well. Another afternoon, I'm going to get 5 minutes in the workshop. But just mega chuffed that we've managed to get the shuttle lever replaced, and that was the problem. And the machine's starting now dead easily. So rather than having that bush fix off the solenoid, at least me or the lads or anyone who wants to use it is good to go and not messing about. So I'll get the green waste done now and come back to you in a bit. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Bit of stuff there going on in the workshop. Hopefully a bit of machinery stuff there you might find interesting. Just a bit of an eclectic mix of what goes on in our day-to-day life, really. So please, if you've enjoyed it, made it this far, please click the subscribe. It costs nothing. It just means that we get shown to more people, and hopefully it grows our channel, which really inspires us then to try and make more videos and make it better for you guys. Like always, any comments of how we're presenting, our content, our footage, anything else you'd like to see in more detail, please put it in the comments. We'll try and include it in future videos, and I'll do my very best to respond to any questions you've got through your comments. So take care, have a great week. Thanks for watching.